News 46 is brought to you by Smitty's Cards and Coins. Would you like to know what your collectibles are worth? Come by 2281 Postal Road, Unit 4, across from the post office. News is also brought to you by Dickey's Barbecue Pit, Pahrump, where we speak barbecue. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Tonight on News 46, 2 officers are involved in collisions.
Firefighters respond to a large brush fire.
And the Sheriff's Department warns citizens about fraud. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Deanna O'Donnell and Eunette Gentry. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Good evening. It's Tuesday, September 6th, 2016. We hope you had a wonderful Labor Day weekend. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Eunette Gentry for News 46.
Deputy Greg Curtin with the Nye County Sheriff's Office was transported this morning by ambulance and then subsequently airlifted following a crash that left him with reported back pain. Officer Hoffman, who is also a motorcycle cop, was patrolling the roadway with Curtin this morning. He told News 46 that he was issuing a traffic citation to a driver, turned around and saw Curtin's motorcycle on the ground in the middle of the intersection. We spoke to Sheriff Sharon Worley, Fire Chief Scott Lewis, and Al Fisher, who is a witness and a former law enforcement officer. Fisher said he hunted down the car that struck the officer, which appeared to be fleeing from the scene.
I was driving westbound on Highway 160, and we observed a police officer on a motorcycle that was going west.
So he was traveling on 372 west?
He was going on 372 west, crossing the 160 intersection. He had his lights and siren going, at which time a black car came by and they collided. The motorcycle then flipped. The black car kept going. It didn't look like he was going to stop, so I jumped up my pickup, hollered at him and got him to stop, and then stayed with him until the police officers arrived.
What did the people that hit the motorcycle cop tell you at that time?
They said they didn't know that anything had hit them.
We were dispatched a report of a 2-vehicle accident, Highway 160 at 372, and it also involved the motorcycle. While we were en route, we were informed that it actually involved an Nye County Sheriff's Office deputy on a motor unit, which is a motorcycle. Upon arrival, we found the bike on the ground. We found the officer who was up. We assessed him. Medic 2 did a further assessment inside their ambulance and determined, based on mechanism in the complaints, the chief complaints of injury, that we added Mercy Air 21 to the assignment to ensure a safe LZ. We transported that patient directly to Base 21, in which that patient then subsequently flown to trauma.
And mechanism meaning that he had some impacts. One of the officers was saying on the back of his helmet it was scraped. And
you know, when there was contact, or it was apparent contact with the road surface and unknown determination exactly how hard. But when you look at the mechanism, any vehicle versus a motorcycle, we're going to take an error on the side of precaution for the deputy. There was significant damage to both vehicles, and hence the transport the way we did. You know, there's an issue between the officers being highly visible and making sure that you're always aware of your situation, or what we call situational awareness, what's going on around you. So when you see whether the sheriff's office was involved in a traffic stop or responding to an emergency, it's the same thing with the fire department. Please pull to the right, always listen and see where the sirens are coming from, watch for the warning lights, and just use prudent driver skills.
Well, I can't tell you very much about it at this point. I do know that my officer was starting after a speeder, and he started into the intersection and was, I believe, clipped by another vehicle.
Highway Patrol is investigating this one?
Yes, they are.
How was the officer?
The officer is being taken now to Desert View Hospital, and they're going to go through a bunch of tests on him.
And another officer, unfortunately involved in a collision Saturday, was transported by ambulance. Sheriff Sharon Worley and Chief Lewis explained the crash involving NCSO Deputy Amendarez on Highway 160 near Calvada Boulevard.
On Saturday, we were dispatched a report of a two-vehicle accident. While en route, we were informed that one of the vehicles involved the Sheriff's Office deputy patrol car. Upon arrival, we found a T-bone type collision. While there was no entrapment, there was injuries on both parties. They were subsequently taken and transported to the local hospital.
And so that means the officer and a party inside the other vehicle?
It's my understanding that one party from each vehicle was transported.
And Nevada Highway Patrol, of course, investigating the cause of that accident. There was a significant impact, wasn't there?
It was a significant impact to both vehicles.
The officer has since been released from the hospital?
It's my understanding that the officer has been released and may be back on duty.
And the Nye County Sheriff's Office would like to alert the public of a current scam which has come to their attention. The Sheriff's Office say that many phone calls have been received by the public advising the intended victim that they are subject to appear before a federal court for a criminal offense. The message, which sounds official in tone, strongly advises the intended victim to call an out-of-state phone number and speak with a federal agent in order to obtain a case number to avoid being arrested by your local sheriff's office. The Nye County Sheriff's Office would like to advise the public that this is not consistent with any methods by which federal courts operate. The Nye County Sheriff's Office detectives are currently investigating this type of scam and advise the public not to provide any such callers with any type of personal information or agree to send any money if so required by the caller. Anyone who has received any such calls is requested to call the Nye County Sheriff's Office at 775-751-7000. There are a number of scams in existence, the Nye County Sheriff's Office says, and the methods and accompanying stories vary widely. The Nye County Sheriff's Office wishes the public to be safe and not fall prey to scams and other forms of fraud. As such, they ask the public to be vigilant and skeptical of anything that appears to be a scam before responding to such threats or offers which sound too good to be true.
And stay tuned to News 46. We'll have information on possible health risks of MRIs, and we'll have your court report after this break.